JG is an artist, songwriter, manager, photographer, entrepreneur. The first person to ever call me JG was a gentleman by the name of Mac Mucho Major. Good friend of mine. We go way back to high school sports, and it just became my handle. I was born in Los Angeles, California. I was a preemie baby. I was born at 7 months. I had a hole in my heart. I had to stay in the hospital forever. And when I was in Pasadena, my Aunt Joanne, she's 99 years old this year. She's still alive. She's a staple in Pasadena. She took care of me. When I hit middle school, we finally moved to San Diego, and I was exposed to the inner city lifestyle, which is a completely different lifestyle. I was a quiet kid. I felt out of place, but I still did music. My mom enrolled me in Zamorano Elementary School in Skyline when we first moved to San Diego, and it was a performing arts school, and I was always a quiet kid, but that's when I started playing sports. Pursued high school football all the way into college, came home and had a tragic accident. So I broke my foot, which pretty much took my whole entire dream of playing football away. So I regressed right back into music, and now I'm doing it 100%. I see myself as a hip hop, R&B, and sometimes rap artist. Just my heart, having people tell me that they like my music, they vibe with my music, it's their favorite track, they listen to it over and over, they drive to it. I started making music for myself, but now I kind of feel obligated to make music. I can't stop now. At this point in time, people are expecting something. They're expecting something else. And because there's that void to fill, and I have the talent, and there's opportunity, that I'm going to continue feeling that void. So because there's a demand for it, I'm driving internally. My primary demographic is young women between the ages of 25, 34 years old. It's men that are in relationships. They understand my music a little bit better. San Diego is not really a music-friendly place, and the reason why is simple. San Diego is a military town, and a lot of the people that are here are displaced here from different parts of the world. So in order to build a following, you grasp these people, and within 3 to 4 years, when they get new orders, they're in a different part of the world all over again. And that's primarily the population in San Diego. We're a big military town. It's hard to get grassroots following from San Diego. I'm working on my full-blown album. I'm also working on my first mixtape right now that's going to be released. I already released my radio singles EP on June 2nd of 2013. You can get that on iTunes. Me as an artist, I take a certain approach to my music. I try to make it meaningful, and that's really the purpose of music. But a lot of people have no meaning to their music. They have no lyrical content. So what separates me when I'm writing, I feel, is the writing process, the message I'm trying to deliver, how I deliver it, my production, my engineering, the way that we mix our music, the instruments that are in there. It's just different all around. I'm not going to say that I'm so unique that I don't blend into the game, but the way that I approach my music, I just have a different sound. Based on lyrical content, it would probably be someone like J. Cole, like Common, like Talib Kweli, like the old Kanye. Yeah, that's it. Lupe Fiasco. Hip hop is a lifestyle. You know, there's different elements to hip hop. There's MCing, moving the crowd. I know the history of hip hop, where hip hop came from, where it was birthed from in the Bronx, how it was nonviolent. Rap music is portraying a certain lifestyle, and a lot of rappers are lying about their lifestyles. It's full of lies. Cash, clothes, hoes, that lifestyle. Hip hop is where it begat, and that's where it came from. And then it transformed into these rappers who are really fulfilling the interest of these big commercial record labels, pushing out messages which are very derogatory at this point, and they're damaging to the youth. That's not where hip hop started. So hip hop artists, they typically don't sell as much as rappers, but they stay true to the craft and true to the music. Of course not. Messages that are uplifting, like the Tupac's Keep Your Head Up. Even the uplifting songs from the new kids that are out, J. Cole, Wale, Drake. Some of their uplifting songs are not what the radio's playing these days. They're playing a catchy hook about drinking, about sleeping with women on tour, about pretty much things that are ungodly, and that's what the radio plays. That's what they decide to play. If you're trying to play some type of motivational something for women, for children to grasp onto, the radio is not playing that type of music anymore. That's why a lot of people are selling out themselves and their craft to make a dollar, because that's what the radio wants. That's what the radio plays. It's proven over and over again. Those are the stars in the game right now. The people that make music that has no lyrical content and no depth to it at all. It was actually an accident. One of my artists that I was songwriting for, she bailed out on a studio session that was already paid for. And because the 4-hour block was already paid for, I just jumped in the booth and recorded my first track, my single on my mixtape called Falling For You. And I recorded the first verse to Roller Coaster back in 2012. And I remember the day because my father had just landed from the airport and he was in the studio and he was like, "Man, you got more of that Roller Coaster? Are you going to continue writing the song?" Shortly thereafter, I think about 2 weeks later, I was introduced to Mixed by Mike by Brian Disney. He's a drummer, musician extraordinaire, and we just took it seriously ever since. The environment in the studio, the push, the team, it's been a crazy experience thus far. The most meaningful one to me. Ooh. That's a tough question. I would probably have to say it's Monster in Me. The reason I would have to say that is because the personal depth in which I display in that song, it's amazing. When it first came out, it was everyone's favorite song because it makes you take an in-depth look at yourself and take a personal inventory of you and yourself. A lot of people don't understand the message. It's describing the monster, and it's saying, if you keep feeding the monster, it's going to keep growing. But if you don't feed the monster, it'll eventually die off. It'll still be there, but it'll be meek, and your strength will be able to hold. But if not, you're feeding the monster inside, which eventually, just like the Wolfman, which is the parallel I drew at the end, he dies, he gets shot. The track Monster in Me is featured on my mixtape, which is called Occupy the Booth. I'd like to give a shout out to Mixed by Mike. You can catch him at www.mixedbymike.com. You can find me on Twitter at King619JG. You can get me on my website at www.619jg.com, and that has links to my social media, my YouTube, my Twitter, my Facebook as well. My Instagram is 619jg. You can download my mobile app in the Google Play Store. All you have to do is type in JG and it'll pop up right up.